stretch your vacation and get out of the tourist mindset. Okay, get out of the tourist mindset. Again, I mentioned this before, where you're not eating out 3 or 4 meals a day like you would. You're not sitting there at the cocktail lounge buying $30 cocktails and going out. I don't buy cocktails anywhere, but you know what I'm saying. You're not spending money like a tourist would. When you vacation, when you slow travel, you actually live as a local. And what's great is, especially if you slow travel in interesting places, and I happen to think that everywhere is pretty interesting when you really get into the people and the culture. You could buy foods, produce, meats, local seafood, other things that are really, really interesting and great to eat and fun to make, and you get to learn about cooking and food so much better, and a lot of times it don't even taste better than touristy restaurants that just sort of try to cater to the tourist mindset and the tourist palate. So you get to eat more authentically, and again, so much less expensive. Not only that, but speaking of slow travel, you could slow travel when you slow travel outside of the country to countries where the cost of living is significantly less. So not only do you not spend all that tourist money on restaurants, so on and so forth, but you might be spending, say, $120 a week on groceries here in America. You might be able to go to South America, Central America, and you're doing your grocery shopping for $60. You're actually saving money by slow traveling, okay? The other thing is you slow travel and doesn't mean you don't do fun things. Doesn't mean you don't rent the jet skis if you want, if that's what you really like doing, or so on and so forth. But you get to do other things. Again, you get into that local mindset. You say, wow, let me visit the local marketplaces. Let me go to the local parks. Let me have a picnic out by the local lake and the river. You do all things that locals do. And again, it's so much more authentic. And guess what? It costs little to no money at all to do these things. Some of the best experiences Charlene and I have had when we've slow traveled are doing things that local would do. We used to go, when we went over to Tuscany, we were in Florence for part of that slow travel, and we used to go to this little market. We went there 2 or 3 times, and we used to just walk around, and there were all these hundreds of vendors, and they have little food and trucks, and you get to see all the things they would sell, and different clothes and house things, and it was just unbelievable. It was so authentic, so real, and guess what? It cost us no money to have those kinds of experiences. Really, really incredible. What are the other big pluses of slow travel? Oh, sorry, how do you slow travel? I lost my mind for a second. See, I really am slow traveling because I'm just relaxed, chilled out. Tax write-offs. You can actually, depending on how your business is structured and what you do, you can write off your slow travel. When I slow travel, just like I'm doing here, I'm shooting shows, I'm shooting marketing videos, I'm working from the location I'm in. Sometimes I'll invite the people I work with to come stay with me, and so I create a tax write-off through my slow travel. And again, just another way you're chopping away at any expenses you normally would have when you travel. These are all ways you make it super duper possible for you to slow travel and literally not spend a whole lot of money. In fact, I really think if you boil it down, I'm not going to say that slow traveling is free, although if you were really creative enough, you probably could do it for free or close to free, but done the right way, you should be able to slow travel for an entire month and spend the amount of money that you would spend if you just went on the typical American vacation for 7 days. And not only will the experience be richer, but it'll be longer, fuller, and it'll benefit your business so much more. Last couple things about that, slow travel. So pack insanely light when you slow travel. Slow travel is light travel. So one of the first mistakes I made when we went for the first time, Charlene and I went overseas when we went to Europe. I packed everything. I literally took almost a library of books because I was like, I need books with me. I need things to read because we're going to be in a different country. And by the time we got to our second airport and our third extra baggage fee, and I was spending €50 to put a suitcase on an airplane, and I was stressed out of my mind, I realized, wow, I really didn't pack properly. So this time when I came to Rosemary, I literally have like 3 pairs of shorts, 4 shirts, which is probably why you see me wearing the same shirts all the time. And packing light is great. It just takes the stress off, saves you money, saves you time. So pack insanely light when you do it. Trust me, you don't really need as much as you think you need to slow travel. Pack light, you'll enjoy it that much more. Now, Damian, I have a job, I have a boss. How do I deal with that? Well, this is where it gets a little bit trickier. This is one of the reasons that I am a big fan of being an entrepreneur, so that you can make your own rules, because trust me, when you're able to be anywhere, and the crazy thing is, You really can't be anywhere. You have an internet connection. My entire business is here. I'm running the Virtual Deal Factory. I'm running Done For You Deals and Don't Tell Mom I'm Invest. I'm running all my companies just right from here. And it could be anywhere right now. I could be in Argentina. I could be in Antarctica. I could be in China. I could be in Dubai. I could be anywhere right now running my entire company. When you do it, incredible. And that's why I love being a virtual entrepreneur. Now, Damian, what if I have a job? Damian, I have a job. I have a boss. How am I going to do this? Well, that's where it gets a little bit trickier. Depending on what you do, maybe you have something, if you have something where you work on computers, maybe it's the kind of thing where you need to build up start planting some seeds with your boss and build that kind of relationship and say, hey, I've been really wanting to do this for my family. I think I'd be much more productive, so on and so forth. I want to try this. And maybe you convince them to say, hey, let me work remotely for just 3 weeks. Let me try it. It's really important to me. I think it'll make me much more productive, a better employee, make the company more money. If it doesn't work, I promise you, I will never ask again, and I will work an extra shift for the next 4 weeks. Now, granted, if you have the kind of job where, let's say, you're a landscaper or you're a toll taker, that's going to be very, very hard to sort of convince somebody to work virtually, although if you're a landscaper, you certainly can automate by getting other people to do your job and managing them remotely. So there are some tricks, there are some hard things, but what's the takeaway? Well, first of all, if you are an entrepreneur, if you do have the kind of business where your computer is 90% of what you do, you need to slow travel right now. If you are not doing it, you are depriving yourself of one of the richest rewards of being an entrepreneur. Trust me, I'm telling you this. And the crazy thing is, all the guys you see out there who are like, I'm automated, I don't work, I have an automated business. Most of these guys never do this. I know them. They never slow travel. They never take the time off. They say they're automated, but they just sit there like this all day. And instead of being in a cubicle like this all day, they're in their house like this all day. They don't do it. You need to do it. It's so, so important. I'm telling you, you will be better off, more successful, and personally richer for it, okay? So if you are an entrepreneur, you absolutely want to do it. If you're not, one, be creative. Think about how you can approach your boss and find a way to make that happen. And even if you can't, it's a motivation to become that entrepreneur so that you can do things like this. And even if you could only do the traditional vacation for, say, you're planning, hey, I got my 2 weeks of vacation, stack them together. Go away for 14 days and do it in slow travel style so that you get to experience a culture. Not only that, but you get to, when you slow travel, you unplug. You're not in the internet every day. You're not by your cell phone every day. And it's still rich and rewarding. Granted, I want to see you get those 16 plus days, which is why we have the Virtual Deal Factory, so you can do business, make money, and find those wealth opportunities so that you can be completely virtual and make money and support your family and do all that great stuff. So that is slow travel. What it is, why it's so beneficial to you, not only personally, but in your business. I'm telling you, it'll make you money. And last but not least, I spoke to you about how to do it. So there's a lot more I could talk about. I probably have a billion shows in this, and I probably will have a billion more on this. But for now, that's what I have. I'm telling you, think about it. This is your homework today. I want you to think about it. I'm getting right in your face for this one. I want you to think of, where would you go? I want to know, where would you go? In fact, you could send me a message in the Virtual Deal Factory and tell me, you get to slow travel. 2 weeks is not enough. 14 days is not enough. Let's say you're going away for 3 weeks, 21 days. Where would you slow travel? What part of the world, what part of the country would you want to go to? Start with that, because when you start to get vision, just like we started off in this last show, when you start to have that vision about where you would go and what you would do, that'll help feed you and help you start thinking, how can I make this happen? And share that with me inside the Virtual Deal Factory. Let me know where you want to slow travel to, and maybe I could help throw some ideas your way. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'm going to go have some breakfast, because breakfast is one of my favorite meals. Oh, and a last tip, talking about restaurants. You want to eat out, still enjoy a place. Believe it or not, here's another way to save, like literally 50%. What you do is you eat out lunches instead of dinners. You still get to experience a restaurant, same food, but typically half the price, or you eat out breakfasts, which is half the price as well, or you go out for apps at night. Again, you can still eat out at all the great restaurants, experience them, and spend half the money. Again, it's all about being savvy. Don't get stuck in the mindset that you need a ton of money to live and experience things in a very, very rich way. So thanks for watching. Somebody's here, so I'm gonna get out of here. God bless.